Yo, what's going on, you guys? Your boy Devon Terrell, and welcome to this Help Me Devon Raw tutorial. And in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to get your masters extremely loud without limiters or any of that type of stuff. Just a simple trick, and yes, I'm gonna say it again, a simple trick that you can get, let's say, about 2 dB more out of your masters just from doing this one thing. Let's get right to it. Okay, so this is a song that one of my own. It's called Brand New Drug. I'll play you the original, and then I'll play you it with the technique. So this is the original. Listen close.
This is automatic. Oh, baby, what's your status? Yeah, are you single? Or are you fighting battles? Do you need a friend? Do you need an ally? Yeah, I can't make this work, oh girl, just tell me how. I don't wanna stress you, girl, I wanna bless you with all that I have.
Technique.
This is automatic. Oh, baby, what's your status? Yeah, are you single? Or are you fighting battles? Do you need a friend? Do you need an ally? Yeah, I can't make this work, oh girl, just tell me how. I don't wanna stress you, girl.
Now, when you listen to that, you can hear the vocals sound louder, the kick hits a little louder. It feels a lot smoother. Everything about it just sounds better to me. It even feels more pleasing on the ear and everything like that. Now, how did I do this without a limiter, without any of those types of things? This is somewhat of an advanced trick in a sense of you have to understand routing a little bit. Now, all I did was, and I'm going to explain it first, and I'm going to go into DAW and I'm going to show you what I did. What I did was I took my already mastered signal that has a limiter on it in the whole 9. I did all my mastering on it, right? I took that, I spit a copy of that out back into my DAW on another track, but this time with it, I clipped the inputs of that track by 2 dB. So the signal's coming out, and then the track that the two tracks that I have it coming in on, I cranked it by 2 dB coming back into the signal. So literally I took that same signal, ran it through the circuitry of my audio interface, cranked it by 2 dB and brought that in. This is analog saturation at the cheapest level possible that you can get, and this is going to help you gain some more volume in your on your masters. Now, what did I do? All I did was I took a copy of that signal, spit it out, let it run through the analog circuitry, which, as you should know, when it comes to analog clipping and digital clipping, those are two completely different things. So yes, when I'm spitting it out and it's coming back in, I have it above 0 dB. It's clipping. But when you clip analog gear, it's way different from when you clip on digital sources. When you clip on a digital sources, remember, they're reduced to a set number, 0. Once it goes past 0, that thing is going to sound distorted. It's going to clip. You're going to hear it. It's going to sound nasty. When it comes to analog, it's infinite. That algorithm, the way it works and the way it does its clipping, it's smoother, it's rounder. It doesn't just clip like this, like digital, which is a straight line off. It's more like this. It's more of a rounding off of the sound. So that's why even you hear the vocals sound a lot more smoother. You hear everything sounds louder, punchier, but it's because it's running through that analog circuitry. This is a super trick that you don't even have to use if you're trying to gain volume, if you're just trying to get some of those highs tamed, or you're just trying to tame things to just sound rounder and more analog. You can literally run it through your already DAW audio interface, and it'll sound incredible. It's a super trick that I use to get more loudness out of my masters without destroying it in the limiting phase or trying to just crush it with limiters and compressors. I'm going to show you the routing. Please stick with me. This is so easy, but it could be so easy to get lost in at the same time. Check this out. Okay. So we're going to move right over here. You're going to see, so this track that says master, just pay attention to that. Basically, my signal I'm mastering on this channel that says master. All my signals are coming to this channel right here, and we can listen to it for what it is. This is what it sounds like.
This is automatic. Oh, baby, what's your status? Yeah, are you single? Or are you fighting battles? Do you need a friend? Do you need an ally?
Okay, all the signals are coming in there. This is what's being mastered is on this track. Cool. Now, what I do is I go to the output of this track, right? And for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to use some dummy routing. So don't pay attention exactly to my routing, but just because everyone's audio interface is very different. So what is your outputs could be different from mine. So let's say, for instance, I go out my outputs of my audio interface 5 and 6, right? So I go out 5 and 6. Pay no mind to my grayed out. I understand. I go out of my DAW 5 and 6, right? Of my audio interface. I'll play it back. Of course, I hear nothing. Why? Because it's not coming out of 1 and 2 anymore. It's coming out of 5 and 6. I take 2 cables from 5 and 6, pop them in the back, my output 5 and 6, and I'll take those outputs and I'll throw them into my input 5 and 6, or your input 3 and 4, or your input 1 and 2, which is using your microphone. Whatever input you want to throw it to, throw it to. For sake to keep your mind on track, I would definitely recommend, if you're going out 5 and 6, go in 5 and 6, just so you can keep that concise. So now we're going in 5 and 6, right? All right, now we're in 5 and 6. So now we come over to a stereo track. We'll make a stereo track like you see mine. Mine is audio 2. All I did was do this, make a stereo audio track. Okay, going to cancel that. And I made the input, what? You guessed it, 5 and 6. So my input was 5 and 6. Basically, all I did was say, hey, that output of 5 and 6 that's coming into 5 and 6, I want to hear it. Bring it on to this track right here. So now that I brought it onto this track right here, a lot of you guys might have something called a digital mixer. And on the digital mixer, you could set the volume, etc. So for mine, for instance, I would go to this right here, and you can see this is the input to my 5 and 6 right here. This right here is my hardware inputs to my 5 and 6. So I cranked it 2 dB above 0. So it's not 0 dB, I have it at 2 dB. So now the input of that signal is coming in plus 2 at, not at 0 dB, how it should be coming out, but instead it's coming out clipping the input at 2 dB. So now it's coming in at 2 dB. And then this is the file that I use right here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit record here in a actual setting. I would hit record on that one, and then I would just record that audio on that track straight up. And this is the file that I get in the end of the whole thing.
This is automatic. Oh baby, what's your status? Yeah, are you single? Or are you fighting battles?
Now that signal is the signal that is being outputted 5 and 6 into 5 and 6 plus 2 dB above 0, and then being recorded on that track like a vocal. So this is how the vocals, this is the master with the effects, excuse me, running through the analog circuitry at 2 dB.
This is automatic. Oh baby, what's your status? Yeah.
And this is it not going through it. 1 sec.
This is automatic. Oh baby, what's your status? Yeah, are you single? Or are you fighting battles?
Again, with.
This is automatic. Oh baby, what's your status? Yeah, are you single? Or are you fighting battles? Do you need a friend?
Without.
This is automatic. Oh baby, what's your status? Yeah, are you single? Or are you fighting battles?
Analog circuitry is a beautiful thing, and guess what? Instead of getting these expensive hardware outboard gear, guess what? You might just have a box that is good enough to pull this off. Now, personally for me, I'm using an RME Fireface 800. Great piece of equipment. There are actual mastering converters out there that will do this job even better. But for people that are just at home in their studios and can't afford that type of stuff, you can perhaps try this technique on your box, see how it sounds, because not every piece of analog gear as far as your audio interfaces and your A to D converters are that great. So this is a super simple technique that you can use that can do so much when you're trying to add some more volume to your sound or your song without actually crushing it even more in the dynamics. Because there's plenty of times where I say, I like how it sounds, I just want it to be louder. But in order for me to get it louder, I have to bring down that limiter some more. So this is a way for you to do that without doing that. Now, I hope that this didn't confuse you so much. Only reason I had it routed this way is because, unfortunately, when I'm recording my audio with this tutorial kind of thing, it's kind of tough for me to play it through my actual audio interface. But nonetheless, the technique and the method to the madness is there. You can replay this 1,000 times. So that was my tutorial on how to make your masters louder without limiters, etc. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Tell me if you want to hear anything else in the comments. Make sure you follow us at HelpMeDevon on the Instagram. And until next time, you guys.